Good morning. We are going to continue exercise 19E, and this is the third video for this exercise, third and the final video for this exercise. In this exercise, in the first two videos, we have learned calculating the distance of a point from a line, perpendicular distance of a point from the line. And the second type question we saw in second video was the distance between the two parallel lines. Now here we will have the mixture of those two questions, right? So basically we are going to learn how to calculate the distance of a point from the line. So next we are moving on to question number 9. Question number 9. Question number 9 says, a straight line is a parallel to the lines so and so. A straight line is a parallel to the lines so and so and lies between them. Find its equation if its distance from these lines are in the ratio 3:5. 3:5. So let us first of all draw the diagram. With the diagram we will try to understand. We are given the two parallel lines. This is one of the parallel line and this is another parallel line. We have name of these two parallel line. The name of the first equation is 3x minus y minus 3 is equal to 0. This is the name of the first equation. Another equation we have is 3x minus y plus 5 is equal to 0. So we are given these two lines and these two lines are parallel. Is this very clear? Now we have to find the equation of a line that is parallel to these two. That is somewhere like this, right? So now if this is the line which is parallel to these two and is at a distance of in the ratio, the distance of this line from these two parallel lines are in the ratio of 3:5. That means the distance, this distance and then this distance are in the ratio 3:5. Is it all right? So find out the equation. Clear? So now we are going to assume the equation. Is it okay? So for assuming the equation, one thing what you have to keep in mind is when the lines are parallel, the coefficient of x and y has to be same. Only there will be difference in the constant. Is this okay? So this is the tips that you have to keep in your mind. The coefficient of x and y are same if the two lines are parallel. Now since this line also is going to be parallel to these two, therefore the coefficient of x and y for this equation also will be same, right? So only the difference will be the constant. Now since we are going to assume, so we cannot know what is the constant for this, therefore we will assume the equation of this line as 3x minus y plus c. This is unknown. So this is the line that is parallel to these two given lines. Am I clear? Now this is our assumption that let the equation of the line be this. Clear? So our task will be completed the minute you get the value of c. So here you have to only find the value of c and then you will be able to get your equation. Hope I am able to make it clear. So let us assume, let the equation of the line be 3x minus y plus c is equal to 0. Right? Now, so now what do we do is we will find out the value of c. Is this okay? We'll find the value of c first of all. Clear? Because you know that whenever you calculate the perpendicular distance between the line, right, we used to have a coordinate of a point and the equation of the line. Is this very clear? So we already have the equation of these two lines. There is no problem. So from this equation we can find out the coordinate of a point. So from here we will get the coordinate of a point. So what we can do is to find coordinate of a point where on the required line, on the required line, what do we do? For finding the coordinate, we do it by assuming x as equal to 0. So in this equation, you will put the value of x as equal to 0 and you can get the value of y. So when you put it here, it becomes 3 into 0 minus y plus c is equal to 0. So this part becomes 0, clear? And therefore, your y will be equal to c. Your y is equal to c. Clear? So x value is 0 and y is equal to c. So this way you got the coordinate of your point as 0 and c. Clear? So this coordinate, this point is on this line. So using this coordinate and this equation, we can find out the distance between these two. And using this coordinate and then this equation of line, we can find out the distance between these two lines. Clear? And according to the question, this distance, the ratio of this distance is to this distance is equal to 3:5. So we can say, according to question, first of all, mode of the distance between these two lines. 3 into, we used to put the value of coordinate, right, in the equation. So 3 into 0 minus y, y is equal to c, y is equal to c plus 3 divided by square root of coefficient of x square and then coefficient of y square. This is the ratio, this is the distance between these two parallel lines. Now we have to find out the distance between these two parallel lines. So using this equation, this is 3, here also we'll put the value of x and y. So 3 into 0 minus c plus 5 mode of, and denominator will be 3 square plus minus 1 square. You know how do we calculate this part? Is equal to, now you have, we are showing the ratio of the distance between this parallel line and then this parallel line. And this is given as equal to 3:5. 3:5. Now let us simplify and get the value. This and this is cancelled. So finally this is 0 and c, this is minus c plus 3. This is minus, this is minus 3, not plus 3, this is minus. This is, this implies, we can draw a line. This implies minus c minus 3 mode of divided by this part minus c plus mode of minus c plus 5 is equal to 3/5. Is it okay? Now in the numerator, if you see that both are negative, so why not we take out the minus sign common and then we will remove the absolute value sign. Clear? So this is minus out, so this becomes c plus 3 and then denominator minus c plus 5 is equal to 3/5. Now in the previous question, in the previous video, I told you that if you remove this absolute value sign, then here you have to have plus and minus sign together. Am I clear? But in this case, because we have double absolute value, therefore we will not have the double sign. Is it all right? So we can simply remove this absolute value sign and then this number will come out signless. So this number, this minus sign will disappear. This will remain as it is only. Clear? So this is c plus 5 over minus c plus 5 is equal to 3/5. Now finally you can do the cross multiplication. So 5c, this is 3, not 5, this is 3. 5 3s are 15, right hand side minus 3c and plus 3 5s are 15. This 15 is cancelled. So this comes, these two are like terms, so they will come together. So it becomes 8c is equal to 0 and this implies your c is equal to 0. Am I clear? So what I told you is you just have to calculate the value of c and your equation will be completed. Now finally you have completed your C. You calculated the value of C. So we will put it here in this equation and we'll get the final equation. Therefore, the required equation is required equation is what? 3x minus y and plus 0 because C calculated is equal to 0 So this is the equation. You can finally rearrange and write the answer as y is equal to 3x. This is your equation. This is the equation which is parallel. This is the equation of your line which is parallel to this and then this and is at a distance or in the ratio of 3:5. Is it alright? Thank you. Next we are moving on to question number 10. Question number 10. Find the equation of the locus of a point P. Find the equation of the locus of a point P which is equidistant from the straight line so and so and the origin. Find the equation of the locus of a point which is equidistant from the given line and the origin. So let us see how do we do this question. For this question also we will try to understand with the help of diagram. Clear? So the question is, find the equation of the locus of a point which is at equal distance from the line and the origin. So your line is this is the line which is given, right? And the equation of this line is 3x minus 4y plus 2 is equal to 0. Clear? And somewhere you have your origin. This is your origin. Let us name this origin as O, and the coordinate of the origin, you know that it is 0, 0. Clear? Now you have to find the locus of a point which is at equal distance from this line and then the origin. Clear? So exactly at the center you will have your point. So this is the point whose locus has to be calculated. Locus means path, right? So the locus will be always at equal distance from this and then this. Is it okay? So maybe it will be, your equation will be somehow like this, your line will be somehow like this, and on this line you have this point which is at equal distance from the line and the origin. Is this very clear? So let us assume this point, name this point as P, and then the coordinate of this point is H and K. Is it okay? This question is very simple, is because this point P is said to be at equal distance from this line and then the origin. It means this distance, right, which I can name as a D1, will be equal to this distance, and this distance we can name as D2. So according to the question, we can say that D1 is equal to D2. So by equating D1 and D2, we will be able to get the locus of this point P. Clear? So we can say, let the coordinate of the point, we have assumed the coordinate of the point as HK. Let the coordinate of the point be H and K. So this is the coordinate. Is this clear? Now we will, according to the question, D1 is equal to D2. According to question, D1 is equal to D2. So first of all, we will write down this value of D1, right? Using this line and then this coordinate. So we can say mod of 3x, and x is equal to h. So 3h minus 4k plus 2 divided by square root of 3 square plus minus 4 square. So this becomes the value of your D1. Now we are going to find the value of D2. For D2, we can use the distance formula, right? The distance formula. Hope you remember the distance formula. Root over x2 minus x1 whole square. When you have the coordinate of the 2 points given, then y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is the formula we use for calculating distance if we have the coordinate of the 2 points. Is it alright? So we can use this formula. So h minus 0 root over h minus 0 means h. So h square plus k minus 0 whole square. That means only k is square. Is it okay? Now, this is 3 square and this is 9 and this is minus 4 square means 16. So 9 plus 16, 25. This is mode of 3h minus 4k plus 2 divided by root over 25, and root over 25 will become 5 is equal to root over h square plus k square. Is it okay? Now this will be sent to the other side. So we'll continue here. This implies this we will keep as it is, 3h minus 4k plus 2, right? Mode of is equal to, this will become 5 and 5 will go to the other side. So 5 into root over h square plus k square. Is this okay? Now here I will tell you once again, I am reminding you, if I remove this absolute value sign, then here I will have to introduce plus minus sign in general. Is it okay? But in this case, what we are going to do is, our problem is the square root sign. Therefore, we will remove this, of course, but same time we are also going to do the squaring. And when you do the squaring, then that time the plus, whether it is plus or it is minus, ultimately it will become plus, and therefore we will not have to introduce double sign. Is this okay? So we'll say now squaring both the sides. Squaring both the sides. Both the sides. What will happen? This will become simply 3h minus 4k plus 2 whole square, and right hand side will become 5 will become 25, and this will become h square, and then this will become k square. Is this okay? Now we will simplify this equation for one more step. Now this is a minus b plus c whole square, right? So you need to know how to expand how to expand the trinomial. Clear? How to find the perfect square of a trinomial. Is it okay? So the perfect square of trinomial will be, this is a, b and c, right? So a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ac. This is the formula, right? So we are applying. So this square means 9h square, right? Plus this is square, right? So this will be 16k square. Then this square is 4. So all the square is done. Now minus plus here this one, when you take these two, one is positive, one is negative. Therefore the product will be negative. So minus 2 into this into this. Minus 2 into this into this. So 4 3 is 12 and 2 24. Minus 24 hk. hk. Now we are going to take this 2 again negative. Negative 4 to the 8, 10 to the 16. So minus 16k. Now first and the last and the first. So 3 to the 6 and 2, 12. So plus 12h. Clear? So this expansion is completed now. On right hand side we have this. So we can write this as 25 h square plus 25 k square. Now all the calculation is done. We are in the final stage of getting the equation. We just have to collect all the like terms. So take all this term on the right hand side and get the final equation. So now when you take this all to the other side, the sign of this, all the terms will change, right? So now this is 25h square, and this goes to that side, will become minus 9h square. So 25 minus 9 will become 16h square, right? Then 25 minus 16 will become 9k square. Now this goes to that side, will become plus 24 hk. Then this will become plus 16k. Then this will become minus 12h, and this will become minus 4 is equal to 0. Is this very clear? So you got your equation. You got your equation, but your equation has to be in terms of x and y. This was just assumption in terms of h and k. So finally we will replace this h and k, right, by x and y, because the first coordinate will belong to the value of x and second will be the value of y. So we will say here, for the locus of point, for locus of point P, for locus of point P, right, put point, this is point, put x is equal to h and y is equal to k. So finally your equation after this rearrangement will be equal to, this is 16 x square, this is 9 y square, this is plus 24 xy, right? This will write first minus 12x, then we'll write this one plus 16k, and then we'll write finally minus 4 is equal to 0. So this is your required equation. This is the locus of a point which is at equal distance from this given line and the origin. Is it very clear? Thank you. We'll take one more question. This is the last question of this exercise, and then for the day also, this is the last question. Question number 11. Question number 11 is, a point P is such that the sum of the square of its distance from the two axes of coordinate is equal to the square of its distance from the line x minus y is equal to 1. If it is so, find the equation of the locus of point P. I repeat this question. A point P is such that the sum of the square of its distances from the two axes of coordinate is equal to the square of its distance from the line x minus y is equal to 1. Now, even after reading this question for 2 times, you might not have understood anything, isn't it? So I will show you what is the benefit of drawing the diagram. Once the diagram is drawn, then the picture becomes more clear. Is this very clear? So here the question says that there is a point which is at equal distance from the two coordinates. The first part of the question says that the point P is at an equal distance from the two axes. That means from the point P is at equal distance from x-axis and also from y-axis. So let us draw the coordinate. Then we'll try to understand. This is your y-coordinate and this is your x-coordinate, right? So you have somewhere a point P. This is point P. Clear? And let us assume that the coordinate of this point is h and k. Clear? Now, according to the question, this, when you draw the perpendicular from point P onto x-axis and you draw a perpendicular from point P onto y-axis. Is this okay? According to the question, that this distance this point P is at equal distance from y-axis and also from x-axis. This point P is at equal distance from the two axes. Clear? That means this distance is equal to this distance. Is it okay? So since you have assumed the coordinate of the point P as h and k, that means this distance is h. Right? This is the distance of the point from the y-axis. That means this will give you the value of your x coordinate. Clear? And likewise, the value of point P from the x-axis will be equal to k. Is this okay? Now, according to the question, the first part of the question says that the sum of the square of the distances of this point from x-axis and y-axis is equal to the square of the distance from the line x minus y plus is equal to 1. That means now, what is the second part of the question is, let us have one line, right? Let us have this line, and this line is x minus y is equal to 1. Clear? Now the question says that the distance of this point, suppose if it is this is the perpendicular distance. Whenever we talk about the distance of a point from the line, we always talk about the perpendicular distance. Is this very clear? So according to the question, the sum of the square of the distance P from the two axes is equal to the square of the distance of this point from the line. Now I will read the question and you can connect it with the diagram. Point P. Can you see the point P? Point P is such that sum of the square of its distances from the two axes. Sum of the square of its distances from the two axes. That is sum of these two squares. Sum of these two squares, right? Is equal to the square of its distance from the line. X minus y is equal to 1. Is this alright? So now you might have understood the question. So with this we will try to solve now. So according to the question, right, what it says, the sum of the square of the distance from the two axes, that means h square plus k square. The distance of this point P from y-axis is how much? It's straightway, it is h only. So therefore we will have the square. And then the distance of this point P from the x-axis is k. So therefore sum of the square of the distances of P from x and y-axis is equal to the square of the distance from the line x minus y is equal to 1. So now we will find out the square of this distance, right? Square of this distance. So let us use this equation. First of all, we used to have this equation always in the general form. So x minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. Now let us take it. So for x you will take h minus, for y you will take k minus 1. Absolute value. Then square root of 1 square plus minus 1 square. Square of the coefficient of x and then the square of the coefficient of y, that is minus 1. The distance, and then we can have the square of it. Clear? So now when you are squaring, then this absolute value becomes meaningless, right? You can simply square it. So this will become h minus k minus 1 whole square. And in the denominator, this 1 square is 1. This is also 1. So this is root 2. And root 2 square means it is only 2. Right? Or for one step, I will show you root 2 square. So now you know that square and square root will cancel. After this, we can do cross multiplication. So this will become 2. So with 2, we are going to multiply this and then we are going to expand it. So 2h square plus 2k square. Now here once again a minus b minus c whole square. We will do the expansion of trinomial. Perfect square of trinomial. So this is h square. This is k square. This is 1 square, that is 1. Then minus 2hk. Then plus 2k, because these both are negative, therefore it will become positive. So 2 into this, therefore it is becoming plus 2k. And then minus 2h. Clear? Now write it or bring it all in one side and get your final equation. So h square and then this together. So it becomes final 2h square minus h square is only h square, right? Then similarly 2k square minus k square is k square. Minus 2hk will come this side, will become 2hk plus 2hk. Then this will become minus 2k. This will become plus 2h. And this will become plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is your equation in terms of k and h. Finally, we can get the required equation by putting x is equal to h and or h is equal to x and k is equal to y. So finally your equation will reduce to this is x square, this is y square, this is plus 2xy. This we will write as, this is 2, this we will write as, first of all we'll write 2x, then we'll write minus 2y, and then this is plus 1 is equal to 0. This is your required equation. Is it alright? So with this we are ending this exercise 19E. Right? Thank you for watching the video. Enjoy learning maths. Take care and stay safe.